What are you doing?
I don't know.
Are you gonna play Five Nights at Freddy's 3?
Yeah.
Do you need a hug?
No.
Why are you acting like this?
I'm not looking forward to this game.
Ah.
Time to do Five Nights at Freddy's 3. After the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Scott Cawthon's website was updated with the word offline. Brightening the image revealed a large 3, and the source code also read soon. The source code was later updated to read Five Nights at Freddy's 30 years later and only 1. A little bit later, the website was updated with an image of a golden character that said, "I am still here." At first, it was believed to be Golden Freddy, but later the website was updated once again. This time, it was an image of a box full of the heads of the toy animatronics as well as Foxy's hook. Brightening the image revealed the golden character. This definitely wasn't Golden Freddy. After that, the trailer released and the words "He always comes back," which appeared in the trailer, also appeared on the website. They were removed shortly after. Next, the game's map was put on the website. Brightening the image revealed what appeared to be a vent system. After that, a picture of a creepy, almost burnt-looking balloon boy with the words "Guess Who" and the number 10 was put on the website. The final image was an image that said "It's all in your mind," with a burnt-looking withered Foxy and original Chica. Shortly after this image, the game released on March 2nd, 2015. Starting with the mechanics, the only returning mechanic is your camera monitor, except even that has some differences. It's actually on the far right of the screen since your office is longer in this game, and it's also on the side of the screen instead of the bottom. On your monitor, you have a play audio button and a map toggle button. The play audio button plays a balloon boy sound in the room you're currently viewing on the monitor. The map toggle button switches your camera view to the vent cameras. Double-clicking on the vent camera will seal it. Aside from your monitor, you also have your maintenance panel, which you use to reboot a system whenever it goes offline. You have a camera system, audio devices, and the ventilation. When your cameras go out, you can't see anything on them. When your audio goes out, you can't use the play audio button, but when the ventilation goes out, the alarm in your room will begin blaring and you'll start to black out, which is incredibly dangerous. When you start a new game, you'll get a newspaper advertising Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction, which is one of those walk-through haunted mansion type places that you'd find in theme parks that's based on the mysteries of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Starting the first night, you'll get a call from your radical new phone guy, Phone Dude. Phone Dude speaks like a surfer dude, that's why he's called Phone Dude. Phone Dude explains your mechanics to you and tells you that your role for the attraction is the security guard. Who would have guessed it? Phone Dude says they're currently looking for an intact animatronic, as if you look around the place you'll find the husks of all of your old friends, but none of them have endoskeletons. The first night is a tutorial. It is impossible to die on night 1 in this game. After beating night 1, you'll get a minigame. In this minigame, you'll play as Freddy and walk around the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 pizzeria. After leaving the room with the stage, Shadow Freddy will appear and tell you to follow him. He'll eventually walk into a room that you are unable to enter. Once you try to walk away, Purple Guy will come out of the room and dismantle Freddy. Purple Guy was a character I neglected to mention in the FNAF 2 video. In short, he's the person who murdered the children that were mentioned in the first game. He dismantled Freddy because he believes that the spirits of the children are out to get him and the animatronics are possessed by them. On night 2, Phone Dude tells you that they found a real animatronic and plays an old Freddy Fazbear's Pizza training tape for you. You won't hear from Phone Dude again after this night and will only hear the training tapes each night, which are made by our old friend, Phone Guy. Before I get into the content of these tapes, let's get into the creatures who are out to get you. First up is the only real animatronic in this game, Springtrap. Since he's the only real character, he's the only one who can kill you. Springtrap freely roams the facility, but he doesn't teleport, he only moves to adjacent cameras. To keep Springtrap away, you must play an audio in an adjacent room. Playing audio in a room that Springtrap is 2 or more rooms away from won't work. Also, Springtrap sometimes just doesn't listen to the audio lore. Aside from Springtrap, you have the Phantom animatronics. Phantom Balloon Boy's face will randomly take up a camera, and if you don't switch cameras or view quickly enough, he'll force your monitor back and jump scare you. Phantom Mangle will randomly appear on cam 4, and if you don't change views quick enough, it'll appear at your window and begin screaming loudly. Phantom Freddy will begin walking outside the window in your office, and if you're not holding your monitor or maintenance panel while he walks by, he'll jump scare you. Phantom Chica will appear on the arcade machine at cam 7, and yet again, if you don't switch cameras quickly enough, she'll jump scare you. Phantom Foxy will sometimes appear in your office. If you see him, quickly look back to the right and lift up the monitor, and he'll leave. Finally is Phantom Puppet, who appears on cam 8 sometimes. If you stare at him for too long, he'll enter your room, block your view, and make it impossible to lift up the monitor or maintenance panel for about 17 seconds. If you get jump scared by a Phantom animatronic, you'll get a ventilation error. The only ones who don't cause this are Phantom Puppet and Phantom Mangle. Phantom Puppet merely leaves you vulnerable to other Phantoms and Springtrap, and Phantom Mangle merely gives you an audio error. So let's talk about the tape. The tape mentions a specific type of animatronic that can be worn as a suit. These suits are apparently pretty dangerous because these are literally tapes on how to operate them without dying. Fazbear Entertainment, your safety is worth nothing. Employees would have to push back the spring locks in these suits to wear them. After night 2, you get another minigame, basically the same as the first, but you play as Bonnie instead. And here comes Purple Guy. I'm not going to go into nightly strategy since it's basically the same every night. Keep Springtrap away and avoid the phantoms. Night 3's tape explains what not to do in one of these spring lock suits and what to do if the spring locks recompress while you're wearing the suit. Phone Guy says not to nudge the spring locks, touch them, or breathe on them as moisture loosens them. He also says if the spring locks come loose while you're wearing the suit outside, they should go into a safe room, a room that's not in the security camera layout or the map programmed into the animatronics, and bleed out. It's literally a bleed out room. Night 3's minigame is the same as 1 and 2's, but with Chica. Night 4's tape says that the suits are now off limits due to multiple and simultaneous spring lock failures happening in a sister location. Temporary suits are being provided, but are apparently inappropriate. What the heck does that mean? Are these suits, like, creepy? Or something much, much worse? Night 4's minigame is a bit different, being that you don't start on the stage. You start at Pirate's Cove and play as Foxy, but even Foxy is inspired by Purple Guy. Night 5's tape clarifies what the safe room actually is. It's both a storage room and a safety location for employees to bleed out in! Phone Guy makes sure to emphasize that the safe room is for employees only and that customers should never go in there. He also mentions that the spring Bonnie suit has been moved and says that it's not safe to wear. Night 5's minigame is very different. You play as the ghost of a crying child. You make your way over to the room that the animatronics couldn't enter and are allowed entry since you don't have to obey programming. When you enter the room, 4 more ghost children block the door, and Purple Guy sees you and begins to run. After chasing him around the room, he runs over to the golden Bonnie suit over here, and... And with that, Purple Guy is dead. Kind of. This minigame shows that Springtrap is actually Purple Guy. Multiple secret screens show that Springtrap does in fact have a corpse inside of him. It is, without a doubt, Purple Guy. After this, if you just played through the game, you'll get this image, the heads of the characters with lights in them and the text, bad ending. This game introduced good and bad endings to the series. Getting the good ending is a little bit complex. In the Afternight minigame, there's a hallway with some hints to the good ending in it. Each night, excluding night 5, what's in this hallway changes. Figuring out what all of these hints mean will take you to another minigame within a night. These minigames are Balloon Boy's Air Adventure, Mangle's Quest, Chica's Party, Stage 01, the Shadow Bonnie minigame, and Happiest Day. Balloon Boy's Air Adventure can be accessed by double-clicking on the Balloon Boy drawing on Cam 8. Mangle's Quest can be accessed only on Night 2 by going to Cam 7 and pressing the buttons on the arcade machine in the order of top left, top right, and bottom right. Chica's Party can be accessed only on Night 3 by going to Cams 2, 3, 4, and 6 and clicking on the Shadow Cupcakes. To access Stage 01, bear with me here. Sorry, that wasn't funny. But for real, see this portion of the wall here? Looks like a 3x3 grid, right? Well, you have to know that it is. Each tile corresponds to the numbers 1 through 9, like a phone keypad. You have to input the number 395248 into this wall to access Stage 01. The Shadow Bonnie minigame can be accessed by clicking on this barely visible Shadow Bonnie figurine in your office on Night 5. The goal in each of these minigames is to find the dead, crying child and give them their cake. The most complex one is in BB's Air Adventure, as you have to get all the balloons in Balloon Boy's Air Adventure, go to Mangle's Quest and find the cake there, and then go back to Balloon Boy's Air Adventure to give the cake to the child. After you give all of the cakes to the children, go to Cam 3 and double-click on the drawing of the puppet. In this minigame, you play as the puppet and you walk to the right. Riveting stuff, I know. At the end of this long hallway are 5 dead children, 4 of whom are wearing the masks of the original 4 characters. The puppet places the final cake on the table, and the 5th child looks up and puts on the golden Freddy mask. The children and the puppet disappear, and their masks fall to the floor. After doing all this and beating Night 5 again, you'll be greeted by the good ending. Also, if you didn't do these on your first run, you'll have to play the game all over again because most of these minigames are night-specific. The only 2 that aren't are Balloon Boy's Air Adventure and Happiest Day. After beating Night 5, you'll get a star on the menu, access to Night 6, which is called Nightmare in this game, and the Extras menu. Furthermore, getting the good ending will get you the 2nd star on the menu. Let's talk about the Extras menu next. This was a feature that returns in the next few FNAF games, but it's at its barest here. If you just beat the game normally, you'll only be able to access the animatronics section, which shows off every character in the game except Phantom Mangle for some reason. If you got the good ending, you can play the various hidden mini-games. The other 2 sections are unlocked by beating Nightmare Mode. Nightmare Mode is this game's 6th night. Of course, it's astonishingly difficult, but I actually had fun with Nightmare Mode. I didn't want to quit until I beat it, unlike the difficult challenges in the previous 2 games. It may be because I find this game to be a bit easier than the previous 2, but I don't know. After reading Nightmare, you get a newspaper that says Fazbear's Fright has burned down, and that any recovered items are being sold off at an auction. Brightening this picture here shows that Springtrap survived the flames. Beating Nightmare gets you the 3rd star on the menu and unlocks the jump scares and cheats sections of the extras. The jump scares section is self-explanatory, you can just view the jump scares, but the cheats are where things get interesting. Of course, there's a cheat that makes nights go faster, one that gives you a radar so you can track Springtrap, and one that makes it so that no errors will occur, but there's also a cheat called Aggressive. This cheat makes it so that Springtrap is incredibly, well, aggressive. Enabling this cheat and then beating Nightmare Mode again will get you a 4th star on the menu. And guess what I didn't do?
Just kidding, I beat it.
Wait, really?
Yep, it was actually pretty fun.
You're serious? Well, good job.
Now time for the part where I talk about what I think about the game. Originally, I didn't really like this game, and before I even started filming, I was ready to hate on it a bit, primarily for the gameplay. But after replaying it, I found it to be quite enjoyable. One of my main issues is that it's just a little bit too easy. The first and second games were hard on the later nights, but in this game, Springtrap would literally just walk to Cam 10 on his own most of the time, which is the furthest camera from the office. Also, the jump scares aren't scary. With the first 2 games, I'd at least jump whenever I got jump scared, but I never even flinched with this game's jump scares. But trust me, the jump scares will get their revenge.
So yeah, that's about it for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Got a snarky response, Scary Man? Scary Man?
Oh my god. He needed me to play the most difficult mode in a game to set him free.
Hey,
What? I thought you were dead!
what? No, I was just changing.
Oh god, you scared me for a second.
Sorry, man. Anyway, when are you doing FNAF 4? Why are you looking at me like that?